like a phoenix rising from the ashes. Out of nowhere enters Sasquatch El Toro Cain Velasquez to my life, and we have finally located the former UFC heavyweight champion, the man himself, joining us via the magic of Zoom. Cain Velasquez, there he is. My man, how are you?
Doing well. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's been so long. Cain, do you get annoyed? Because I know you see the text, you just don't respond to the text, and then all of a sudden you just popped, you just like emerged. It was amazing.
Oh, no, I didn't see it till Monday. I take it back.
Cain, you look great. How much do you weigh, Cain?
I don't know. I've been just like coaching like some of the guys here at AKA, like doing some soccer coaching as well, like with my son. So I don't know, dude. I'm just kind of like trying to eat right and stay busy.
But you are slimmer than usual, right?
I am.
Like I feel like you're a light heavyweight at this point. Are you closer to 205?
I think I'm 230 right now.
Wow.
After a workout. Yeah.
And is that the lightest you've been in quite some time?
Yeah, just when I competed, I was like 230. Well, yeah, like 230 probably my lightest like weighing weight. Yeah.
Okay. Recently, we heard the fantastic news that you are returning to AAA. You're going back to wrestling, to Lucha Libre, which, if I'm being honest, I wish you would have stayed there. Why are you going back?
I've always loved it, you know. Again, just from a kid loving it to when I had my first show with AAA. Just the people there, the camaraderie, the style of wrestling. Dude, it's just fun. I just love it. I'm just happy that I get the opportunity to do it again, you know? Like,
how is your body?
Oh, great. I'm still working out, man, and it's kind of like a love and hate thing, you know? You just deal with it. You just try to make it better by doing stuff like recovery stuff, and that's about it, you know? My body's been treating me well. I've been treating it well. So really no complaints, you know? It's hard when I give all of myself when I train. Like when I do that, like when I train other people, I fucking give it all. I don't leave anything else left there. And then I go home and I just try to recover. I try to get this back to where it was.
I remember when we last saw you doing WWE, the knee was messed up a little bit. Did you ever get the knee surgery?
No, I didn't. I've just been wearing a brace with it. That's kind of what I've been doing. But no, I didn't get it fixed. I've been able to do a lot of stuff with it still. So I'm even like grappling. I'm even wrestling. I'm still wearing the brace, but I can do everything with it. So I think I'm just holding off a little bit on doing that.
Okay. What happened ultimately? What happened with WWE? Why are you no longer with World Wrestling Entertainment? Do you hear me still?
You pause too.
I still see you. You see? Do you see me?
You're paused for a while. Yes.
Okay.
You're paused. I'm at AKA.
Yeah.
So I was told this was probably the best place to do it at from being here.
Yeah, you look great. The quality is great. Can you see me?
I can, but you're pausing just a little bit.
It's fine. It's fine. As long as you can hear me. You can hear me?
Yep.
All right. What happened with WWE? Why are you no longer with them? Why did why did they part ways with you last year?
Well, primarily it was because of COVID. They had to just drop a lot of the roster in order just to kind of keep their core guys in. And I just wasn't developed enough. Like I really needed to sit down and really practice on that style of wrestling for a while. I needed to be in, just develop a lot more. And that wasn't the case. It was more of like, I just didn't get developed in that way.
Do you regret going there?
I don't. No, I think it was meant for me to I'm glad I got the experience of knowing what it's all about, right? Knowing how the company works, how the guys work, everything. Like, it was a great learning experience. I learned a lot from it. And all I can do is take that and, make it better the next time if we do get another chance, or just know what that is and appreciate my time in doing that.
Do you have hard feelings towards them?
No, hell no. I love what they're doing, what they did. They helped me out so much. No, it's the opposite. Yeah.
Okay. I think a lot of your fans were upset with the way the Brock Lesnar match went because it was so short and one-sided. How did you feel about it in retrospect?
It is what it is, man. Again, that was me just going into it, and really just trying to figure out what it was. It was all thrown at me at once. A new organization, and that's. I was there for whatever anybody needed, as far as to have me build like into whatever they wanted me to build into. That didn't happen around this turnaround. I'm sorry to everyone that got let down. Like, that does hurt me as well, because I expect a lot out of myself. I don't expect, I expect more for myself.
So I think off the top of my head, that fight or that match happened October of 2019, right? And then COVID was March, April. So there was a stretch there of like 6 months where people were wondering if you would come back. Why didn't you come back? Why weren't you used on television?
They just didn't use me. I wasn't called to go in and have them use me. Then at one point they told me we're going to go do something with like some of the lucha guys, and when that time came close, well, we were deep into COVID, and they were just like, well, we're just doing the shows this way. Like, we just need these core guys right now. They just needed me to develop a lot more, and I wasn't there yet.
Okay.
So they really couldn't use me in that way. And all the guys were living over in Florida because of COVID. They were all, social distancing. Like, they're all like staying there, right? Just living there, doing that whole thing. So they were really that was our core guys that they were using. The guys that were over there, that were staying there, that would, so they just felt like they weren't using me enough and they were paying me too much, so they had to let it go. So I understand that. It's business.
One thing that I said in the midst of all of this was, you were so great as El Toro. And I remember when you came to my show at ESPN, you wore the mask and like I could feel your face light up. I could feel the energy. It seemed like something you loved doing, wearing the luchador mask. And when you went to WWE, it felt like they kind of used you as Cain Velasquez, UFC fighter, MMA fighter. You're wearing the jeans, You're a brawler, and they weren't using you as the guy doing the Hurricane Ranas. Why weren't you El Toro in WWE?
Because I think they wanted me to stay in that MMA zone. They wanted me to have that rivalry with Brock, but they really weren't willing to put the time in to have us work together to really do that. They wanted us to do that. And, well, you know how that is.
Would you have preferred to be the luchador?
Of course. That's who I am. Like, yeah, I feel good in that style, but it just wouldn't work at that. Well, I don't know. I don't know if they saw it wouldn't work, but that to me, and I think it to everyone else, was a clear path.
Yeah.
But that's not what they chose for me. So
what was it like working with Brock? What was your relationship like?
Mm-hmm. Well, we didn't work much, but talking to him just for a little bit, just for that little bit, I just know where he comes from. Just for a little time spent, and I mean very little, like very little. I know what he's about, and I respect him for that. Yeah.
What do you mean by that? Know what he's about? Like, what is he about?
Well, what you see out there, what you see when he performs, all that shit, like he lives it, he breathes it. Like, that's him. That persona that you see, that's him out there. Like, that's his true self. close quarters, he's obviously like more human, but that's him. Like, and I saw that. Like, that's him. That's his whole being. I believe that just by talking to him. Like, I could see it. I could just see it.
Was he cold towards you because you beat him in an actual MMA fight? Like, did you feel some friction there?
There's always gonna be friction, with that. There's always gonna be friction there. So yeah, there was. But working together.
Would you have preferred not to be matched up with him?
No, I don't think it mattered. I think it all came down to the development. Mm-hmm. That's what it all came down to. Was that, once that's there, it's like, it doesn't matter who you go with. You can get prepared for anything. But me being so green in that, it's like, I'm almost like in the middle of like, what do I do? What do I need to learn? Because I'm still not sure about it. Like in MMA, I'm so sure about it. In collegiate wrestling, I'm so sure about it. I know what, like, those type of things. I know these different types of sports. They're a little different dance, a little different rhythm. So it's not the same. It's almost the opposite of MMA, I guess you would say, and that's true. Like every movement is the opposite of MMA, where you need to show the emotion, you need to show the technique, you need to show the movement, and always be opened up so everyone can see it, so everyone can see the punch. MMA is the opposite. We hide it, so no one sees it until it makes contact. Mm-hmm. We hide our setups until we get it, and everything's fast. Everything's some A, B, C, like no stopping. Do it as fast as you can, as smoothly as you can. But there it's the opposite, showing everyone what you're doing, A, B, and C. So it's just, for me, it was a regression, just a totally different way of competing in a way that I've never competed before.
So when I asked you to, one of many times where I asked to talk to you, when you finally wrote back to me on Monday, you asked me a question that I'm still not sure if you were being serious about. I wasn't sure if you were working me or if it was a shoot, to steal a phrase from pro wrestling. But I'll ask it to you. You said, please make sure you ask me about psychedelics. And I didn't want to ask any further questions, because if you're going to ask me that, I'll gladly ask. Were you being serious? Did you really want me to ask you about psychedelics, and why?
I did. I do. Why? So I got the opportunity last year to go ahead and try some of these psychedelics. And I believe like my life path has like led me here to do this. So a year before that, before I did that, I had my mom pass away, my brother passed away within like a month or 2 months of each other. But my brother, the way he passed away was much more like traumatic for me, for my wife, because it started at home, and we saw all of it. So, and I couldn't be there for him. No one could be there for him at that moment. Like, and I didn't realize like all the shit that was happening. I didn't realize that this would be the last, right? Like all of that, like, so a year goes by, we're living through this, and we're just trying to, make it work and be there for our kids and for each other. And, we're still hurt. So then I got the opportunity to go try these from a friend of mine who told me about, he told me like what this was, and that's kind of all I needed to hear. It happened on the anniversary of his death. So that's when I went to go try these. And I didn't know what I was looking for, or if I was looking for anything, but I really just focused on my brother, my mom at the time. When I first I tried ayahuasca, and the only thing that was between us that lasted, that was there, was love. Like between me, my mom, between me and my brother. It was just love. Like we just fucking love each other. And that was still there. And that's always been there. And that's the strongest emotion out of anything. Like I lost my brother in the way that we lost him, but that love that was still there is still there. And that's all that mattered. Like that made me heal so much. Like just that was there, that I know he is okay, that we did love each other and we still do. And that, so it was more of just more of a healing from that. Cause I really don't know where I'd be if I didn't get an outlet for that. Right.
How often do you do this?
So I've done this like 4 times. I've done some ayahuasca. I've done some 5-MeO DMT, the toad venom. And I'm from Sonora, the desert, from Arizona. Like my family, my lineage comes from the Sonoran Desert. That's where the toad comes from, the Sonoran toad. So I didn't realize how much trauma I had in my whole life, and I mean, as a kid growing up, just living on this earth, the trauma that's been put on me, put on everyone, really. Living with that, going into sports, keeping that with me, and then end up fighting, but I still get more trauma from the fighting. So I really didn't know how much I had in me or what I was carrying around until I went in and really just let this medicine work with me on the things that are serving me a purpose.
Wow.
So I got rid of like a lot of the trauma, just from like shit that we live through every day that the society puts on you, everything. Like, but we don't even know what we're carrying around until we actually sit down and really face it, really go face to face with it and get down to the root of the problem.
What does it feel like when you're doing this? Like, what are you experiencing?
It depends what you're going through in your mind, as far as like when I first did it, I looked at the relationships, right?
Uh-huh.
The relationships of me, my loved ones, me with my mom, me with my brother, me with my wife, me with my son, with my daughter. And then I just kept going out and just kept going from there, like everyone, like friends.
Wow.
I just really appreciated everyone. Like, I'll say this, say life is a fight, long fight. And in that fight of life, when do we really take a step back and take a really good exhale, like from all this, right? It's pretty rare. That's what it felt like. Like I was able to just step back from this long fight that we have to really take everything into consideration, really appreciate everything, all the lessons, whether they're good, whether they're bad, whether they're fucking shit. Like, I appreciate it all. I lived through it. It made me who I am today, and I appreciate it, and I love that. But the stuff that I don't want in me anymore, I'm going to work on to get it out, to make room for the stuff that I do want.
Are you doing this alone, or are you doing this with your wife, a loved one, a friend, or do you do this not by yourself? Because I'm sure there's people, but like in terms of like, are you going with other people or are you solo?
I'm going with other people. I'm going with friends, with family members. I'm trying to bring a lot of people. I want my family first. Like, I want closeness first, and then go out from there. Like, I brought in family. I brought in friends to this. But what I really want to do with it is to help everyone that would want help, that would think they need help or whatever, just want an experience. But I would love to have ex-fighters first that do have a lot of trauma to come in, that are willing to like come in and like work on some of this stuff. Just come in, open mind, see what they get from it.
How about our good friend Daniel Cormier? Do you think he would go with you?
He hasn't yet, and I've told him. I've been on him. You know that.
Yeah, well, that would be something. Are you happier? I mean, I've seen you smile more in this interview than I think I've ever seen you in all my years of knowing you, over 10 years. It seems like you're happier. Do you feel happier inside?
I'm always happy. I'm always the same. Like, even when I wasn't smiling, I was smiling, I just learned more about myself. Like, I learned more that because I like the extreme stuff, like I do. I like that. And that to me makes me feel alive. Like fighting, wrestling, being vulnerable out there when you go like in a fight. Like, the greatest things can happen, but also the worst things can happen. And you're putting yourself in the most vulnerable position that you can, right? So I've always done that. And it's more of just recognizing who I am as a core, being. That's it. And I just know I like some extreme stuff. Like, the little stuff it won't do anything for me. I need something to push me. I need to be pushed. I just more so understand myself, but I also can understand people as well, like a little more. Yeah.
Do you think you'll ever fight again, or do you think you're officially done?
Fight in a cage or something like that. I mean, you'd never say no. I'll never say no. That's not what I'm looking for right now. I'm looking for bigger fights.
Which is what? You mean Lucha Libre?
Nah, man, like the bigger fights. Like, those fights are physical, but they're not the bigger ones. Like, the bigger ones for me are the ones in here.
Okay.
The ones in here. Not just with me though, but with everyone. Like, I still compete in this way. I still do. But I'm much more clear on just who I am and what this all is a little more, not to say that I know it. I don't. I'm just learning. I just want to learn forever, but I want to learn at a high pace.
Do you think, and I'm not sure, do you think part of the issue is, for fighters at least, you have these careers, you're out there, you're doing your thing, you're getting paid all this money, and then it just like ends. And there's no retired fighters association. There's no one that helps you transition. You're just done. You get the release or whatever, you walk away, and then you're finished. And my feeling is, correct me if you feel otherwise, you would know better than I, that when it's over, like when the music stops, it's a hard thing to deal with. And there's no one there to kind of help you out. Is that part of what, is motivating you here to get those fighters involved in something like this?
Well, yeah, but there's more to it than that. It's even more complex than that. That's like on the surface is that, but to go down to the deeper issue is people that do this are a select certain amount of people.
Yeah.
They're not everyday normal people. Meaning what? They're warriors. Not that they're warriors just now. They've been warriors forever. Like, their other lives or whatever you want to, like, that warrior is in them forever. And yeah, when the music stops and you can't be a warrior like you could be anymore, then it's hard. It's hard because you still have that fire inside. And it's not a normal fire like everyone else. It burns much more hotter, right? Uh-huh. So you need an outlet that is much more that you can learn from, get so much more out of it. It takes like a mental, like, rejuvenation, like, to know that when I was fighting, those big wins did so much for me, right? And that's what it does for everyone. But there are wins in the gym. There are wins in like a sparring. There's wins in a certain position in the gym that you win. So what I've learned is those little victories in here translate to little victories out there, right? And what is that? That's you with your kids, you with your family. That's little victories when you're just out, like putting gas in, and you have a connection with someone, like you just make them feel good. Like, hey, what's up? Like, make them feel good. You know, like give them time, like they are you. Getting those little victories every day is what makes it. Not those big ones, because we only get a few of those here and there. But those little ones all add up. Case in point, I don't know. This is a victory for me. But we were watching a school play this past weekend with my family. It was a high school play. It was a Wizard of Oz, and the Wicked Witch of the West is burning at this moment, and it's quiet. And next to me, my son goes, ah. That to me is a win, dude. That was fucking awesome. I love that. Like that. I take pride in that. I take joy in that. That what you just did, dude. That was awesome. Thank you for that.
Wow.
You just yourself. Like, I appreciate it. I love it. So it's just that, like, we're not going to get those same victories like we were before. We're not in that way. It's just, it needs to change to something else. Your avenue needs to go somewhere else. So I find it fucking everywhere else. When I coach the kids' soccer team, my wife, and my daughter are all coaching our 6 and under soccer. And that's probably the hardest thing I've done. But I've learned so much from that, and I've gained so much. Like, dude, these kids are amazing. All of them. My son is there. Dude, everyone's like trying to wrestle me, not even play soccer. Like, you know, like trying to dogpile me. It's freaking chaotic, but it's the best. So it's that. It's finding victories everywhere else, right? Like finding joy in life everywhere else.
That's beautiful. I am getting joy in this. I'm getting joy in this, in seeing you like this, in hearing you speak like this, in seeing you return to AAA, El Toro, all of this. What date is it? December
4th.
December 4th in Mexico. Much love, Cain. This was great. Please don't be a stranger.
Yeah.
I'd love to continue this. Unfortunately, we're out of time, but I'd love to continue this.
Yeah.
And I wish you the best. And just much love to you and your family. This was incredible. I did not expect this. I actually thought you were joking when you asked me to ask you about that. And I'm so happy that you weren't. So thank you, Cain.
Thank you, Ariel. Much love to you too.
All right, man.
The family. Thank you.
All right, there he is, Cain Velasquez. That was incredible stuff.